What is up, reading buddies? Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Polly, a 24-year-old Filipino bookish content creator who advocates for POC written and diverse books. So if you're into that, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to follow me on all my social media accounts, which are all linked down below. And for today's video, I will be sharing with you my first ever book haul, and this book haul will consist all of the books that I got for the first quarter of 2021. So if you want to know what books I got, then just keep on watching and let's get started. So I have here a total of 27 books, and I don't think that it's a lot because first, I already read 54 books so far this year, and out of these 27 books, I already read 20 of them. So I think I'm really doing a pretty good job with this reading and hauling kind of thing as a bookworm. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the video. And this video will be divided into two parts. The first part will be the books that I already read, and the second part is where I'll show you the books that I haven't read yet. So for this part where I'll show you the books that I've already read, I will not be diving much into them anymore. I'll just leave the links to my wrap-up videos in the description below, as well as in the card right here, so that you can just know more of my thoughts on these books. The first book that I have here is Lalani of the Distant Sea by Irene and Kelly, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. The second book that I have here is The Unbroken by C.L. Clark, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars, and this was provided by the publisher in exchange of an honest review, since I was part of the book blog tour hosted by Caffeine Book Tours, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I have is Educated by Tara Westover, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and this was also the January book of the month in my nonfiction book club, which is the Diversified Nonfiction Book Club. The next book that I have is Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. The next one I have here is The Trouble with Hating You by Sajni Patel, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. Next up is Dumpling by Julie Murphy, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. And there's no wrap-up video yet for this book because I just read this month, so just watch out for my April reading wrap-up maybe next week. Next book that I have here is Blood Air by Emily Wen Xiao, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. Next up is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I have is a book with a really gorgeous cover. This is even a deluxe edition, but I DNF it, and the book is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. The next two books that I have here are two books that I already read last year, and I'm planning to reread them this year, and they are To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, and these dust jackets are from Mermaid Crate. The next book that I have here is When the Sun Met the Moon by Simran Mohinani, and I believe I gave this, if not 4, then maybe 5 stars. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I just read this month, and this copy was also provided by the publisher in exchange of an honest review, since I was part of the book blog tour hosted by I Read Book Tours. The next two books that I have here are both by Agay Lanera. The first one is Vintage Love, and I also have here Choco Chip Hips, and I believe I gave both of these books 4 out of 5 stars. I'm not really sure anymore. Moving on to the next book that I have here, it is Project Pandora by Krishmar Lirin, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Next up is Chasing Sunsets by Kaye Allen, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And then I have here In Case You Come Back by Reese Lansangan and Marla Miniano, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, I believe. And then I have here a really pretty, really gorgeous Inside and Out book, and it is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. The next book is another book of the month for my nonfiction book club, and it is Snow Falling in Spring by Mo Ying Lee, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And finally, the last book in this haul for the books that I've already read, it is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Now let's move on to the 7 books that I haven't read yet. And if you haven't read them yet and you wanna buddy read them with me, then just let me know in the comments down below, or maybe send me a DM on either Twitter or Instagram. So the first book that I have here is actually a book that I already started reading last year, although I wasn't able to finish it because I told myself that I want to get a physical copy because I just really love reading it at the time. But I only got a copy this year, and the book is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and this edition is the literary culture edition. This one is designed by Trish over at Tissue Paper, and oh my god, I'm still so obsessed with this exclusive dust jacket. The next one that I have here is Puddin, I don't know, but this is by Julie Murphy, and I don't know yet when I'll read this. Maybe I'll read this in June for Pride Month, maybe. The next 2 books that I have here are the 3rd and 4th books in the Janus Silang series. I have here the 3rd book, which is si Janus Silang at ang 77 Pusong. And the 4th book is si Janus Silang at ang Hiwagang May Dalawang Mukha. And I don't have any plans on reading these 2 books soon because I'm saving them for Wikathon in August. And the next book that I have here is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and I was supposed to read this in March, but I wasn't able to get into it because when I started reading it, I was just not in the right mental state to continue reading it. So maybe I'll read this next month for Asian Readathon, but who knows. And finally, the last book that I have here is the April Book of the Month for Diversify Nonfiction Book Club, and it is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. And there you go, guys. Those are all the books that I got for the first quarter of 2021. Let me know in the comments down below if you've already counted how many books you got for the first quarter of 2021. Also, if you have read any of these books that I got and what your thoughts are on them, and as well as if you want to buddy read any of the books that I haven't read yet from this book haul. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you again next time. Bye!